Now the way that they have cut this trailer, it makes us believe that it is just going to be Lucas in those tunnels, but he is not going to be the only one, because in one of the previous trailers we saw, so the final trailer of Stranger Things season 5 volume number 1 is out, and this is a trailer specifically for the first 4 episodes that we're going to see, that means the volume 1, and I'm pretty sure that this scene that we saw at the end of the previous trailer, this scene might well end episode number 4 and leave us with a cliffhanger, longing for more come Christmas. So as always, you know the drill. We are going to go through each and every frame. We are going to go deep and break down everything. Let's start. So the first things first. So we start the trailer with a road, and we have Dustin and Steve, and we also know that their car has an antenna, and we not quite know that what the antenna is going to do, but we are pretty much sure that this antenna has something to do with their grand plan, and of course, most importantly, it has something to do with the WSQK radio station, which is going to be the main hub of our season. But there are a couple of things that you need to note, and the first one is, of course, Dustin being beaten up. Just look at the face of Dustin. He is properly beaten up by someone. But on the other hand, if you look at Steve, he doesn't have any scratch on his face. Now the entire narrative of the trailer was going into the direction of having plans or executing some plans, and I don't think there is going to be only one plan. I think there are going to be multiple plans, and this is where all the planning starts. Okay, so if there is a plan, there are obviously going to be different groups of people, different teams. So here are some of the teams that I have noted. Number 1, it is going to be Hopper and Eleven. They are going to go into the Upside Down, and they are going to stay in the Upside Down for the majority of the first 4 seasons, I guess. Number 2, Nancy, Jonathan, Steve and Dustin. They all are going to be in a single group, and they are all going to be seated in this car, and this car is going to eventually go into the Upside Down. But before that, they are going to be separated. Before that, in the trailer we see that here where Dustin and Steve are waiting and they are talking about a plan, they are definitely talking about the plan of getting into the Upside Down through this. Now what that building is, we don't know. They're definitely planning to go from this portal into the Upside Down, and here they are waiting on Nancy and Jonathan. Now where are Nancy and Jonathan? They are here to get some supplies, maybe some alcohol to burn shit in the Upside Down. Our next group of people is going to be Robin and Murray. Robin and Murray are absolutely going to be in a lot of danger. We'll talk about that later. Then we have Erica, Mike and Lucas. Now this is very interesting. Okay, now there are a couple of scenes in which, now if you look at this picture, you can see this is Mike, and with Mike there is someone. Now going by the outfit of Mike, which is the camouflage, the military outfit, this outfit resembles this scene in which we can see Mike is along with Lucas donning the same attire. Now this definitely gives away that along with Mike there is going to be Lucas, and they are going to be forming a team. But now this is where something really interesting comes up, which we'll talk about later. Anyways, let's go with the flow of the trailer now. So here they are just waiting on someone, which is Nancy and Jonathan. Then the WSQK van pulls up at the WSQ radio station, and here we can see we have Dustin again beaten up. We have Steve, and here we can see someone's leg. Now this might be Mike Wheeler, I guess. Here we see the first time Mike is talking about some plan, and of course he is along with Lucas, and they are at the Hawkins Middle School. The next scene, we have seen this still a lot of times, so we are not going to go deep into it. We know Hopper and Elle are into the Upside Down. They are in search of some lab. They are maybe trying to figure out something in the Upside Down. We have talked about that a lot. Now this is the WSQK van, and this is just before their plan actually comes into activation. So here we can see Robin is along with, now this person at the back is Mike Wheeler, and she says, yeah, what could go wrong in a typical Robin fashion. Now here, remember I talked about that there are different groups, and one of the group is going to be consisting of Steve, Nancy, Jonathan and Dustin, and they are going into the Upside Down. Now this is the Upside Down, because if you see at the back, we can clearly see vines here. These are clearly vines, but the only question is, what is this place? Where are they? Are they at the school? Are they at the Hawkins lab? Or maybe are they at the WSQ radio station? Where are they? Because they are definitely inside the Upside Down. And yeah, by the looks of it, Jonathan is looking at some kind of a map that they might have drawn. Now this is where I was talking about the cliffhanger scene. Now you remember this scene from the previous trailer. This scene created such a buzz, and a lot of fan theories emerged. That scene is going to be extremely important, and I do have a feeling that that scene is definitely going to take place during this scene, and it is going to be the final scene of the 4th episode, which is going to leave us with a cliffhanger. I'm pretty sure of that. So yeah, all the soldiers are looking down at something, and we definitely know what that place is, and we have talked about this earlier as well, that this is some kind of a portal through which the Demogorgons are getting out. Now the Demogorgons are getting out through a lot of portals, and most of these portals are from the ground. So they have figured out a way to just blast through the portals, and that is going to be pretty interesting to explore, because that is going to be something new that we don't know from the previous 4 seasons. So anyways, one Demogorgon, at least one Demogorgon that we know of, gets out of here, and starts doing his Demogorgon things. Now this is where the actual plan that they come up with started. Now this is definitely the woods, and we have talked about this earlier as well, that this scene or this table definitely looks like the place where the deal happened between Chrissy and Eddie. Now there's something very interesting that I found out. Now Mike says something, are you in or something like that, and just look at Will. Will is so happy. Just a happy kid to tag along. he was just smiling. But the next scene, now again Dustin here has a tone of t-shirt, but Hellfire t-shirt though, but he's not beaten up. So maybe some of the kids tone up that t-shirt. But here there's one line that Dustin says which really, takes you back to what he felt about Eddie. Like Eddie was his mentor, he's one of his best friends, his cool older brother kind of a figure. And he just says, I want Vecna's heart on a platter. Now that line cuts deep. It does cut deep. Alright then, we are again shown this wall of the upside down, so to say, or maybe the monster or whatever this is. Whatever this is, we are again seeing here Hopper and Eleven. We have talked about this scene a lot. Now this is a trailer in which a lot of scenes were kind of we saw those scenes in the earlier trailer as well. So that's alright. Now yeah, this is very interesting. Okay, now this is the WSQQ radio station where we have seen Robin and Murray. They are going to be stationed here, and here again we have talked about this scene that in one of the previous trailers we saw Murray and Robin are there, but there are some portals opening up, and these portals that we saw in the previous trailer are definitely these portals that we are seeing in this trailer. And we can see 3 Demogorgons come out, and they are only going to be 3 I'm saying only, but they are going to be only 3 Demogorgons come out. And again, if you notice the pattern here, they are just blasting out of portals. So Murray and Robin are in a truck, and this truck is brutally attacked by all of those 3 Demogorgons. You can see Demogorgon 1, Demogorgon 2 and Demogorgon 3. They are all attacked by the Demogorgon. But here Murray's response was quite interesting because he is happy. He says, this is interesting. Anyways, typical Murray Bauman behavior. Now this is a very interesting one, okay, because this is the same place where the Demogorgon attacks, and this is where we have Joyce, we have Derek, we have Robin, and we have some other couple of characters as well, I think. But yeah, this is where Will says that he knows where we are, and that is why in the following scene perhaps we will see a Demogorgon attack them. So this tells us another that Will can really spy back into Vecna like he did in season 2. He spied back into the mind of the Mind Flayer, and now he's spying back into either the Mind Flayer or Vecna, or maybe the Demogorgons themselves. Definitely he has that sight back into the Upside Down, and that's why maybe this is one of the reasons why in season 5, instead of the Demogorgons attacking us brutally, we are still able to survive. Or maybe not, but let's hope that we survive. Okay, now this scene is quite interesting. Okay, so we have one of those tunnel things that we saw in season number 2. Now how that tunnel is going to come here in season 5, not sure, but anyways, we have a Demogorgon here, and here who is this? But we can see that this is of the color pink. Now who is wearing pink outfit? It is Erica. It is goddamn Erica. But here is a difference. This Erica is just wearing a sweatshirt, but here it's a hoodie. So it is not Erica here. In the next scene, we see this is Lucas fighting this Demogorgon. Now the way that they have cut this trailer, it makes us believe that it is just going to be Lucas in those tunnels, but he is not going to be the only one, because in one of the previous trailers we saw that these 3 people are actually going to be along with Lucas in the same tunnels, and they are all getting attacked here along with this mysterious figure with the pink hoodie. This is going to be interesting because it makes us believe that it is only Lucas, that the way he's turning, like seeing one Demogorgon at the back and being shocked at looking in the front, that means there is another Demogorgon. So it makes us believe that he is kind of Bones. But no, that's not the case. Anyways, in the next scene, now this is where the big fight is going to take place in episode number 4, where we have the military people. The Demogorgon just attacked. The Demogorgon killed a lot of people here. I think this is the scene where after Will shouts this. Okay, now we have talked about this scene that we saw in one of the previous trailers. Now at that point we thought that Will is going to be possessed by Vecna, and there's one leaked audio that we heard way back when the filming was going on, that he said that Steve, you need to run, and that run scene was repeated in one of the previous trailers. So we assume that he is going to be talking to Steve. Now I think if that is the case, or maybe not, but this scene that we saw in this trailer might possibly be after he shouts run, because this is where he kind of gets possessed and he kind of falls down, or maybe he fights psychically with Vecna trying to stop him, but he falls down, and after falling down, this scene from the previous trailer comes in, and that is going to be the final scene of episode number 4. And yeah, this is again very interesting because these are the two people who are, using the flamethrower and they are lighting this portal. But if you remember in the first ever teaser that we got of Stranger Things 5, the final scene was this, and that portal and this portal are the exact same portals. And even this scene that we saw in the previous trailer, that portal and this portal is again the exact portal. Now in this scene we can see that this is Linda Hamilton's character, and she is going to be go by the name of Dr. K, I think, and she is going to be one of the military members. Now they have entered some kind of a facility. Now what is this facility? Now this doesn't really look like the Hawkins school, the Hawkins middle school, but in fact it does look like maybe the WSQK radio station. Maybe they have figured out where all our Will, Elle are hiding, and therefore she has come to bust them at the WSQK radio station. That might be one of the cases, but I won't be surprised if this is something completely different location which we haven't heard of at this point in time. Now this scene is going to be the part of the grand plan that we discussed earlier, and here Hopper clearly says that we need to go, and by the looks of it, by their background, by judging by their background, they are. Now this scene is from the same scene which this scene belongs to. Maybe that could be the case. In the next scene, again 11 flies enters this facility that we talked about in one of the earlier trailers, and now this is by far the coolest scene. Coming back to the first point that I made about the groups, here we finally have Jonathan and Nancy joining Dustin and Steve, and they are entering this portal that we talked about earlier. And here Jonathan is kind of freaking out, and this could possibly be his first time in the Upside Down. He is freaking out. He's saying we are not going to make it, and Steve is like, calm down, like I got it, and he just enters the portal just in the nick of time, just in the nick of time. And now again we are not quite sure that what this building is, what this tower is. Anyways, they just enter the portal. So yeah, that was the whole breakdown. Season 5 volume number 1, the first 4 episodes. This is it. Thank you so much for watching.